Coach. It's the NFL on EA Sports, and there you get a look at Paul Brown Stadium on the banks of the Ohio River in Cincinnati. This crowd loves their orange and black. The scene just a short time ago, they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. We're ready for football as the Bengals get set to do battle with the Baltimore Ravens. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Ladies, check 48, the money. It's going to be a long day. Long day. Watch twist. Watch twist.
This is Joe Mixon, fourth in the NFL in rushing last season. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent game.
6 yards on that last play. Here's second and 4. And Dalton to throw. That's complete to John Ross. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. A gain of 13. It's a first down. CD, with that last pass, he joined a group of about 50 other men that are over 30,000 career passing yards. So, look, he's not at the top, but that's pretty good company.
Yeah, it's not the most exclusive fraternity in the NFL, but it's a pretty good one, isn't it? You still have to put some numbers up in order to get in, okay? The secret knock is still there. How about him getting it done? Proud of him.
Mixon with a first down carry. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. That's good for 21 yards and a first down. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. On the run, it's Mixon. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
2 by 2. Move. Watch safety creep. Watch safety go.
Andy Dalton. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Under crunch.
Dalton. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Patrick on Rossor. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. They were ball hawks last week. They had a trio of interceptions on defense. In the first drive, they pick up right where they left off.
They're creating quite a reputation for themselves, aren't they? And sometimes what happens is when they know that the defense can take the ball away, as they saw the previous week, now you try too hard to not let them take it away, and you force yourself into errors. They've intimidated them in a sense and gotten the ball from them.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They go play action now. Jackson flushed out right. Now he'll pull it down. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. Jackson always a threat to run. He's got the first down. He was the NFL's leading rusher among QBs a year ago. They go play action to Jackson. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast and a big sack. Another try after the first down sack. Jackson, that's to Dalvin Cook, his running back. And he's got this down to the 35. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down. For Lamar Jackson, his first NFL start came against the Cincinnati Bengals November 18th in Baltimore of last year, and he threw for 150 yards, ran for 119 more as the Ravens won 24-21 to kick off what became a 6-1 final stretch that got him the AFC North title. Geno Atkins, the Pro Bowler, in there on the stop. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Now it's Jackson. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
Jackson now. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
Well, certainly some teams are not intimidated by down and distance on defense, are they? 3rd and very long? Let's go get this guy again. Big-time pressure.
So you had to figure that sooner or later someone was going to top Matt Prater's record of 64, and officially this one will go in the record books at 65.
You saw him lining up for this, and you just thought to yourself, you know, he could make this. And sure enough, to be here to see it, that's pretty darn awesome.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away. But they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
First and 10 at the 40-yard line. You don't want to know? Jim.
On first down, Mixon, and the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 15 yards on the play, first down. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 46. Throwing, Dalton. Being chased out left. And he slides to avoid the hit. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down. The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced the ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
Now a first carry for Giovanni Bernard. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Check 52. Check the backer, check the backer.
X3, 218, chopper. Regular.
Mike, 55.
Hey, exit.
Mike.
From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. His big tight end, Tyler Eifert, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down. Here comes the 7th play now of this drive, as this is 3rd and 10. Dalton here from the gun. Dancing to his left. He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 17-yard line.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a first down.
11 more on that one and another first down.
What's here? Check three, check three, check three. Hey, check 24. Watch 24.
They'll give it to Mixon. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
Now Joe Mixon, and he is in. Touchdown, Bengals. Joe Mixon with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Bengals have taken the lead. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them.
Let's go, hey. Go, Mike 34, Mike 34. So we got me.
On 2nd and 12, Jackson forced out to his left. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first.
Mike 34. You got nothing left.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain. Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had, and he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
On is the punter, Cook, who sends it away. Pulled in at the 24. They'll call this a 41-yard punt, 7 on the return. And the Bengals will take over here, 1st and 10. The Bengals drive about to get going. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass. Defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a beat on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit, a little play action and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. Dalton with a give here to Mixon. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 11 yards there, 1st down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because in a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
64, weak.
They'll run on 1st down. Bernard. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On 2nd and 9, Dalton steps away to his left. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. Two minutes to play in this first half. 7-3 our score. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Joe Mixon with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. Now the Bengals, they widen their lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And it'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They trail now 14-3, an 11-point deficit as they start things out with a 1st and 10. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. Call it a loss of 6 on the play. And it'll be a 2nd and long. Jackson from the shotgun. He gets this one into the hands of Dalvin Cook. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7. On 3rd down, Jackson. He can run for it, and he will.
Now that definitely hurts because the mindset is getting a 3 and out there, and they don't get it done. They give up the scramble and a pickup for a 1st down.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. From the gun, it's Jackson. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. A good response by the defense, sending them backwards after that huge gain last play. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Here's Jackson. And he's going to go down again. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. Throwing is Jackson. That'll be complete to Cook. They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a 4th and long. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the 2nd quarter. And this one is right down Broadway. So we have reached halftime here in what's an 8-point game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. but overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Play action. It's Jackson eluding the pressure right. And that is incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. $12 yards on the return that time. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
A second down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down. They'll try and run with Mixon. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Give him 17 and a Cincinnati 1st down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Now they run with Mixon. And that is not a sight they want to see. Joe Mixon very slow to get up. We'll check on his status when we get back. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
2 by 2. Move.
55, Mike, 55. Hey,
And now to the air, Dalton. Under heavy pressure, and down goes Dalton on the sack. Kenny Young in there to bury him for a loss of 11. So the sack, and now it's 3rd and long for Dalton and the Bengals.
Switch.
Dalton gives to Bernard. Call it a gain of 5. 4th down now.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. And Bullock will put this one through, and that will extend their lead here to 17-6. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the 3rd quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Cook following the penalty. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Making the play defensively, Carl Lawson.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Again, it's Cook. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. From the gun, Jackson. That'll be taken in there by Miles Boykin. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. 23 yards, the final tally. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. Jesse Bates made the tackle from his safety spot. Despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made.
The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Here's Jackson on third and long. Flush to his right. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And he will get this to the midfield stripe, but that's not going to be enough. He's a few yards short. Able to pick up a dozen yards there on the scramble, but not enough. Fourth down. Here's Sam Cook now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game. But this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football. Because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
And not much there at all as he'll get this only up to about the 11.
A gain of a yard brings up 2nd and 9 at the 11-yard line.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Check 15, check 15. Well, hey, we're going Mike 40, Mike 40.
Again, it's Mixon. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down. And the Bengals on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is third down and 12.
368. Hey, wahoo!
So Dalton now. Got a man, it's Ross, complete. Down the numbers, there he goes. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. John Ross, 92 yards. And the Bengals, they widen their lead. Bullock good on the extra point, and the lead is up to 18 now. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. This is taken at his 4. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. Here's Jackson to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Geno Atkins in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Now Jackson gets this one to Hill. Finding room at the 30. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
He gets his first catch there, but all in all, when you're talking about the #1 receiver in the NFL coming into this game, and we're just talking about the first catch there, I think they're doing a nice job of bottling him up.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Lorenzo Carter, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Throwing on 2nd and long. Jackson under pressure again, and down he goes again. Geno Atkins, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. To throw is Jackson, throwing on 3rd and long. And this is going to be incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Here's Sam Cook now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down.
Let's go, D. It's going to be a long day.
And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9.
I know you're trying to wring every yard out of a run, but I think 9 yards there is ideal in this situation.
Yeah, now next couple plays, you only need 1 yard. Keep that clock rolling with a lead here in the 4th.
Yeah, and what you're saying is maybe if it takes you 1 or 2 more runs to get the 1st down, that's extra time, extra plays. Really hurts the team on defense.
They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. They'll stay on the ground, Mixon again, and he gets it down to the 48, enough for the 1st. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And he'll be taken down after a short gain as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get your reset. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. He's got a first down and more inside the 30. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
This is one of those plays that has an equal chance of either being a big gain or a big loss. But with the college influence, we're seeing more of these plays come into the NFL.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Hey, check 24, check 24.
49, check 49, check 49. Heavy, over here, yes.
Right, 48.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 10 yards there on a Bengal first.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Not running. Dalton wants to throw. That's going to be caught by Ross for a Bengal touchdown. John Ross, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Bengals, they widen their lead. Extra point up and good by Bullock. And they open the lead up now to 25. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. This is taken at his 4. And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on. Get it done.
Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And the Bengals grab it. So they take over not only in enemy territory, but in the red zone at the 16-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. All right, let's see what Dalton can do after the fumble recovery. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Now they get a fourth quarter pick, a little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over.
Tackle made back at the 17-yard line.
So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they